Okay, we are back again here. I've tried to get some music going in the background. From what I understand, that should work. If not, we will try to get adjusted. Okay, so terraforming. I've been working on this here for a bit, and I've decided after clearing things out, I want to build back in and make some terrain around the edges. So we have the beginning of a mountain here. And I want to talk about how we got this going because that's kind of important. Um, how to build terrain and such in Minecraft, and there's several ways to do that. But I have my own system and I found it to work pretty well. So let's go ahead and see about that real quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so whether you're doing something like a mountain like this that kind of goes up straight, or as we have out front, let me go back to the back, front, whichever. This is a more smooth terrain here. Probably too smooth for some people's taste, but it's really what I was shooting for. You kind of have a method to work with to kind of get that. And I realize, like for like terrain editing programs, there's tools and such for that. But for survival Minecraft, which this is largely based on, it's yeah. I mean, we have a few extras added in, but it's mostly survival, as far as having to get your own blocks and place them one at a time. There's different ways to do this. So I've got this smooth terrain around here, and then I have areas where it meets up to the base structure, and because I wanted the base structure to be more of a hold on, let's get this back over there. The base structure to be more flattened out at the top. I built these extensions here with the edges there. I could have brought that back here and just had it meet where the terrain was at that level, just kind of sitting back here, and just had more open space here. But either way, I would have had to dig out the terrain. So like here with this slope, from the edge there, the slope would have continued down to where it meets here. But I dug that out and just extended this flat bit out here, as I did with like areas like this. So this would have been a bit different. We probably would have fed that around here and made these two connect and such, which I could still go back and do that if I wanted, but it's fine the way it is for now. Over on this side, we've got the cliff face, which I had to build a bit of this because again it was flat area where there was a change in terrain generation along here originally. I know since then things have gotten much better with Minecraft, but this was all flat. So for this front here, I just built a line, kind of stair-stepped up to build the slope I wanted there to go all the way at the top. And I did like a line across here at the side. I did the same thing. So you just build this top bit, you get a line there. Once you get like your line across the front here, and then your line over there, I built another one, kind of a slope right through the side here. It goes up to the top. And then you just come in and you connect with lines around here. And I can show you underground where they did that. Let's go back there. Connect your lines there like we've got up top here where I'm working on it. We connected the line like here over more of a straight line, and then you can fill in at the top or at the sides. And then like this one, we're going to do another of the same thing. So we're going to come down. Oh, let's just start right here. Come along here, and we're going to try to connect up to this. Now, along that same level, we've got, there's not a lot of variation on this area here. So right about there is about all you can do with it, because it doesn't sink back much, okay? So we're going to do the same thing on this side to meet up with the other. Assume that's right. Here's my level. Just bring that out a few blocks. Oop. And oops. Got a little bit more than the other side did. Okay. And you can fill in with, as you want there. Okay. Come back and just take a look at it. We want to try to get this same feel going up here. So let's bring this over. And we're going to edit this side a bit. Bring that in some. This is all trial and error, really, to kind of get an idea of what's going on. You build something, you step back, you look at it. If you don't like it, you just change it. It's really not the end of the world. It's just a game, guys. It's just a game. Okay, so now we've got that. We can also build these slopes like from here down to this. As a way to do that, so extend that over a few blocks. We're going to step down, and then build over. Ultimately, we want to get right about here, so we're going to come up like that. Stair step that. Okay. And then you've got a bit of a slope, and behind that you just fill in with your blocks like this. Nope. These things happen. Yeah. That. There we go. We just kind of fill it in a little bit, and yeah. So let's work on this side and see what it looks like. Now this is a flatter area. It doesn't look nearly as smooth, but everything doesn't have to look great. I mean, you've seen the vanilla terrain. It isn't always the best looking. All right, we still got to flesh this in a little bit. That's gonna. That line's supposed to connect down with this. We could do this though. That's still kind of rough. Let's bring that down one. And that line's supposed to connect down to this, so we're gonna have to edit this a bit. This is gonna come down here. Okay, just got that. That's better. Okay, so let's just bring this down some more. Ooh. This is going to have to be changed a bit here. Smooth it a bit. There we go. And I would probably take this one down just one to make it a little more even of a curve there. I don't like leaving blocks behind. There's a bunch of water behind that, but we're going to get it covered up. So here's the general idea for your slope there. That's going to connect into this, and we can kind of work our next winter out. And then you just fill this up, and then that line eventually is going to connect down to this somehow. So we'll build that up, and we've got this. It's going to come over here, here. And you can change, like we just changed this line that was here just a little bit to meet up with what we're doing. And as you get it filled in, you step back, like down here. After I built this one, I just moved back, and I was like, okay, what areas look a little rough? I've still got a rough area right here, like this. I could put a block there, and it kind of smooths it out, but sometimes you want to leave a little bit of roughness to your terrain. It's no problem at all. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I try to make it too perfect, and that kind of looks artificial. We don't want it to look artificial. We want it to look real. As you can see, we've got this here. So what I will do eventually with this, as I've started here, is digging into this steep slate to kind of shape it into the terrain. So this line's going to go back there. So all this is going to have to be dug out. I'm trying to figure out how I want to blend in these buildings into the terrain. Whether I want to leave like a cutout, like we've just come in here and we've sheared the cliff off and built up to it, or if I want to blend it in where there's more building that has to happen behind that. I mean, I don't care either way. I can work into that, work into what we're doing. So that's going to come into this. I kind of used the natural terrain behind this a little bit to kind of blend it in, where there's some natural caves that came through here. This area was flatter across here. I just dug into it and let that natural ravine kind of flow through here a little bit. Oh, another thing I did since the last video, the last stream, is I talked about moving this tower that's in the middle. I have moved it. It is the very center our chunks now. So if we can see with our grid here, the very center of this is 4 different chunks that we've got there. So I can place my spawners within this. I haven't figured out what I want to spawn here yet. So I got to check into that and see what I want this tower to be for. But also this spiral was above and the platform was up above that. So from this level, instead of putting the spiral tower up there, I just put it down below. Used the same kind of idea. And then I came up with this spiral staircase. And these are actually fun to work with. People are afraid of doing this kind of thing because it can be complicated. But honestly, like you just take the middle section and we make it flat, right? So just like a straight stairwell, anybody could do that. So once you've got that down, I shifted it over a block and did 1. And then all you have to do is just figure out your first bit from this straight area to this center here. So your center of your circle, which in our case is right here. You see we've got another single and then a double. So this is the very center of that. And you just have a straight diagonal line from there. So these 4 blocks here are your straight diagonal. And then you come in, I just did another straight diagonal on either side. And then we started changing the curve a little bit. So this one comes like a W, extended W shape. I don't know, a W plus a V? I don't know what you're going to call that. And then from there, we bend the shape a bit more. And then a bit more until we've got this where it's 3, 3, 1 or 3, 2, 1. And then we've got this and then this final one which blends us into a straight. So the angle's kind of from here to here and then we go straight. So you can kind of see how the angle changes just a little bit. And there's probably some tools to show you how to do it online. I just prefer to wing it, get a feel for what it is. And then once you've got your first 1/8, that's basically what it is. An 1/8 of a turn from here to this middle line, you just mirror it past that. So then we just mirrored it. You can see how, of course, your straight line there, but then this zigzag shape is mirrored here to go this way. And the same with this. We have 2, then an L, then a single. Here we have 2, an L, and a single. And you just keep going around until you get back to your flat. And you just take your pattern, figure out how many flats or straights you want in here, and then start your pattern again there. So just an 1/8 of a circle gives you the rest of your circle. Hold on a second. I am not signed into chat. Okay, hold on. Oh, hey chat. Gelda is here with us. I've got to figure out how to respond to messages, but that's okay. How's the music sound? Is that a good level? Can you hear it? Is it okay? All right. Just let me know how the music sounds in the background there. Okay. So then, all right, I'll pull it up a hair then. There we go. Okay, cool. The bottom of the screen is cropped off. Ooh, yeah, let me see what I can do to fix that. What in the world? That is a background. Let me see here. What in the world is going on? Like, oh, I see, yeah, my, hold on. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Let me get that changed a little bit. I tried to go... Is that better? Is that still full? Oh, okay, I see. Is that good there? Okay. Maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, so then I did this tower. Like, do I need to adjust it anymore? Is it too tall, too short? Where am I at? Is there empty space above it? Okay, so right here, I changed my port a little bit, and I decided to go ahead and go with it and add these geocrystal blocks, which I'm forgetting the name of right now. Amethyst blocks, yes. yeah, so I add these amethyst blocks to kind of tie in the portal and make it look pretty cool. I like it. I don't know. With these buds on here as well. And yeah, so that's kind of what I did with this tower in the middle. Again, I'm going to try to, and I did a little bit on the inside to make it not look completely flat. I haven't lit this up well. I've got to figure out some lighting for down here. I don't want these regular torches up long term. But then after I built the staircase, I lined it with these smooth slab blocks. And I came back and did a pass of these walls on here. I went with diorite just because they blend in well. And then I just put some lanterns on top of that. Same thing with the staircase. I wanted to do a 45, so that's why it kind of looks like this. It works. It's functional. Originally, the staircase came all the way down and ended in front of the portal entrance, but I didn't like that, so I stopped it up here, cut a 45, and then I decided to wrap this all the way around. I had to work this curve out a little bit to get it smooth, but again, you build a little bit, you step back, you look at it. So that wraps all the way around now, and I have another one on the other side. So I have a dual staircase up there. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to look at terraforming. That's just terraforming. That's a little bit of what I did with that. Over here, we need to terraform this corner in. I'm probably going to move this. That's going to be a lot of work, though, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, let's go to another corner. Sweet. I'm selling stuff in my shop. Take all the granite, dude, because I have plenty of it. I will. For some reason, granite has been like, there's been a ton of it when I've dug out. I have so much more of it than anything else. And it might be because people are buying the other stuff more. So let's work on getting this corner and terraforming it up a bit. So I'll probably just do more of a general curve around here, and then we'll build up to this and then take it from up there to the upper corners. So let's come down here and lay out a little bit of a shape. So just start with randomly making your shape here. It's good to kind of feather it in, so we start with a line like this, go a little bit less, until you get to like more of a straight diagonal. And then you want to kind of throw in a couple doubles every now and then to kind of give it a little better feel so it's not a complete straight line. Make your corners connect well. There we go. I don't know why I'm going around the torches. I can get rid of them. And kind of figure out where you want to aim for over there. We want to end over this way. So we'll make our line along here. Oh, let's get rid of torches for now. Go away. 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. We can do that. Let it kind of come in a little bit first and then back off of your curve. Where are we at? Okay, now we just got to connect this up. So that means it's going to go more general that direction. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Okay, like that. Okay. Oops, you're okay. All right. So this is a general starting outline. Okay, man. Yeah, so that's your start. Now what you'd want to do is take your spots from, let's say from here, where you want this to meet up with the wall there. You kind of just start building up. And I'm going to get some more stone over here so we don't have to stop doing this. So generally your outside edges, you might have a single block. You might do more than that. And once we get the slope in here, we can come back in and blend the terrain in a little better. But let's start with getting a slope line from here up to there somewhere. Got to figure out how high we want to go on this wall. Okay, there we go. And two, 1, 2, 1. Ooh. Come on. Okay, all right, we're getting up there. So we got like just a couple more, and right about there. So let's say that one meets with that. This is where I need the torches at. Let me put those away too while I'm at it. So we also have access to our ender chest with a simple command on the server. Again, those can either be purchased as a supporter, or you just keep playing for a long time, and as you rank up, you get those things. Other perks, like there's the ender chest, and then you also have a workbench. After a while, you can pull up. I think at this point, I also have my stone cutter command. So if I want to pull up a stone cutter, I have it here. They show up in chat. Well, just on your chat. It doesn't show up on everybody else's. But on console and stuff. Okay, so for our middle line, we're going to go from right about here. And this being a diagonal, you want to kind of stagger back and forth like this. Like that. Okay, yeah. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, we might end up a little higher than that, which is okay. My man Jelda there is in chat with us, and he's actually making a video of baking a Minecraft cake. So he's trying to make one that looks exactly like it. Check him out, Jelda TV. He's on here. Also has his YouTube channel he posts on. Oh, yeah, I went a little too high. So we might take this slope down a little bit. I want it to... Yeah, that's really steep. Good gravy. What was I thinking? No, sir, we can't do that. I tell you what, efficiency 7 really helps with this stuff. Okay, let's take it back here. Let's try this again. Oh, I left some stuff on the bottom. Give me that. Okay. Good. All right. Okay, yeah, we need to bring the slope in a little bit, so don't go quite as steep. Let's see, so 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Let's throw some light on this. It's a little hard in the dark. Again, as we work through the the whole thing, this slope might change a bit. We might work around things a bit to make it a sharper, less sharp, just depends. Okay, this one's going to come over twice, and then we're going to go up again. Oh, I'm out of stone. We also have a shift-click command to access our shulkers, and I don't see any more stone in here. So we're going to go back to our storage room. Oh, I did not type. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. And I have got, this whole side is stone from me digging things out. So starting from here over, we have shulkers full, and then the other side we have just loose stone. That's a lot of stone. Also, cobble is similar. I don't have nearly as much. I had somebody buy a bunch from me of the cobblestone, and I don't have as much left right now. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. This is my main thing for the bulk storage of stone and cobblestone. I have other storage over here. So we're gonna go back now, and let me open this up. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Cool. All right, so we're just going to continue this slope up like that. So once we're here, we're going to go up, come over to up 1. I guess I could continue the actual. So right now, let's just leave it up there. So we've come up to this level, about level with this platform. And then from there, we'll have another like that. That's better. Okay. Go away. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. So there's that one. There's that one. And then what we can do within this is we can start connecting things. So what I want to do here is go ahead and make my slope from here up. We're going to that. Okay, fair enough. Oops, that was a lot. Change it to boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of an idea for the slope. It's a little antithetical of this one. It's not a word. We can build this one up to kind of match that a little better. Bring it out some. Don't be afraid of using too much block. It's not, I mean, like, I have enough of this stone. It's not really a problem to use a ton of it, so I don't mind if it's kind of thick behind it as we work through here. Oop. Cannot aim. Okay, that's better. It's a little bit better. Okay, then we'll just come down a little bit, like right about here. We're going to bring this around to right about in here. So we're going to pull this out. That was really bad aim. And that won't work quite like that. Let's go ahead and take this back. Sorry. Okay. Then you kind of work this out a little bit here. All right, so you get your base ring, and then what we're going to do is we're going to connect this up to that. So we want to do like this maybe. And then you come up above that, you're going to work this over. You don't have to leave the edge quite like that. There we go. Okay. And this we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build that up a little bit. Let's throw a torch on it. Now, my thought here is once I get these mountains built, I'm going to come through with bone meal and just turn all this into moss, at least the top blocks, and then I might come back in and fill stuff underneath it. Just depends. But that's the kind of general idea that we're going for with this. So it's going to go there, there. The aesthetic. As you've seen the top of my base area, we've got a ton of moss up there. Boom, boom. Go on. Give me that. Okay. All right. So see, just with that, we've built this in here. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this might be a little too close. So we're just going to pop that out a little bit. Come in here. Stepping back, I can see that's much better. That's much better. Might cut these two back. Now this is starting to get a little too smooth though, but I can change that. I can change that. Like, let's see if we cut this one. Nope, not that one. This one. That. One thing you want to try to avoid is straight lines across like this. When you're starting out, you might have it there. Like we built a straight line across here, but you see I've made it not straight by putting this in here. Take for instance over here. Let's fly back to the side. Not that side. It's this way. Oh my goodness. Okay. So right here we've got, I built the straight lines. I did the same kind of thing here. So I came across here. And whenever you have too much, like this is going to be a straight line. There's no way to avoid that. Unless you build up a little bit, right? Like that. But then you've got to kind of work with that. So get your slope the way you want it. But for the straight lines, when I was doing the wireframe on this one, you can see a little bit of here. Like, so when you get several in a row like this, if it's too much, you can just go break something out like that. And it kind of breaks it up a bit. we don't want it to be obvious that we use the wireframe when we're done. So your lines across here, your lines straight up and down aren't nearly as obvious, but like right in here, we could take this one out maybe, and then let's see how it looks like that. Yeah, that gives you a little more roughness there, but it makes it where the wireframe isn't obvious, and it makes it a little more natural. So when you're going through here and you're backing up, look at it and be like, is there anything that makes it look like there's a straight line across there? And it's not just from the wireframe. Sometimes our building can make that happen. Like here, I'm digging into it to make my my slope. And as I do that, it's easy to just come in here, and we'll just do another level here real quick. It's easy to come in here and just like break these out and be like, all right, so I want to do that, so I'm going to make these. See how I'm leaving like this edge here, and I might say I'm going to be special and cut that one out there, and same thing here. But like what's going to happen is you end up with the kind of a straight line across here. It's a little more obvious that we did this. So say we do that. We're just going to look at it as is, and you can see how that straight line flows through there. That doesn't happen a lot. Like, it's okay every now and then to have something like that, but my advice would be to come in here. We're going to break this one out. We could probably leave that one, or one of the other, right? Or we can break both these out, leave that one there, get rid of that one and that one. By breaking out these few little chunks of the straight line. Now our line isn't going to go across there either, right? So now we've broken that up where the slope is good and smooth without all these extra bits kind of drawing the attention to straight lines. We don't want those straight lines across here. You can have like slopes along this way. We want that to be more obvious. We want our eyes drawn to that, not a straight line, unless you're doing it intentionally. Like if you dug into here to make a flat area, or like where you have a double like this, or we got a wider flat area, yeah, there's going to be lines like that. But when you have steeper slopes, we want to try to avoid those lines as much as possible. It just makes it better in the end. So we've got that, and then 1 second, yeah, okay, yeah. So I've been approaching this area of digging out in a couple different ways because I get bored with one way for a while. So when we're digging into our terrain, you can go layer by layer, like we just started down there, and you just clear out your whole layer, and you just dig this all the way back, and then you've got your layer cleared out, right? Why am I not picking? Okay, there we go. Or the other way is to come across here, and you can see I started doing a little bit of that across the front, is digging down, like peeling it this way, a layer off of the side here, right? And I came to this line on that one as well. So I kind of did a layer of it here and just went on across. And or you could switch back and forth. If you're like me and you get bored with one way for a while, you just switch to the other and do that. So unfortunately, deep slate is very difficult to clear out. That's why I end up using bone meal and moss. That gets rid of it real quick. And it gives you, if you collect all the moss and put it in composters, you get enough bone meal back to, plus extra, to continue. So once you get enough bone meal to get you started, that's actually a great way to clear out deep slate. If you just want to have deep slate to build with, though, keep digging it like this, okay? Because I really like deep slate to build with. So I have a ton of it. Not as much as I have stone, because stone's a lot quicker to dig out. So I give up on this sometimes and just go straight to mossing it and collecting bone meal. And I would set up a little, and I'll show you my bone mealing setup, my composting setup. I've got one in my base area, my storage area over here. This is my basic composting setup. 2 double chests up here, and then a hopper pulling from each one into a composter there, and then pulling out of the composter down here. And then you can just take whatever you have. Let's see if we have any extra plant stuff here. Yeah, let's go ahead and I think go to glowberries. We're going to find out. Throw your material in there, it automatically puts it in. Once this is full and it's ready, it'll pull it out through the hopper there, and it'll go into this chest. So whenever I'm bone milling deep slate, I'll have this nearby in a chunk within the loaded chunks, and just let it keep running constantly and producing bone meal. And with 4 of them going at a time, it actually does it about as quick as I can use the bone meal up to mossificate things. And that's a great way to clear out your deep slate. And you end up with a surplus of bone meal, so if you need to use bone meal for anything else, you've got it. So if you're going to come back through and bone meal the rest of your terrain or whatever, or like for this, or, you know, on our server we have shops where we can sell stuff. I actually have bone meal for sale out there too. So it gives you the surplus you can do that with. So yeah, you can build like this, flat areas. You can dig into it, but the main thing is to keep your eye on that same idea as far as making sure this ends up looking smooth and not like straight lines through there. We want it to look a little more natural. My top terrain, again, let's go to the front this time. This terrain doesn't look quite as natural. It's more of a flowing hill, I guess, a natural flowing hill with some breaks and things like that. But it doesn't look like a steep slope. This one I tried to keep more of a steep slope area and just put a cavern in here. Partly because my terrain ends somewhere in this area, and I didn't want to have to flatten that down further out of my area. So I was like, let's build a little cavern into this hill. It's not much of one, but I'll eventually put some decor here, probably like a little campfire, sleeping area, like a tent, things like that, where someone's kind of built a little living area here. That is far down the road as far as detailing this place out. I've got a ton of building and terraforming to do, which honestly I love doing before I get to that. So anyway, back underneath. Okay, so yes, we were working on this other corner over here, getting a start to that. I got to figure out how that's going to fit into my terrain. I don't want to get rid of it. So anyway, we started this little section here. We got a little bit going on. This might be a little too sharp for what we're doing, so I'm going to cut that one out there and there. Yeah, that's going to go flat into that. Okay, well, we got to get started on it. Let's keep working around here. Now, this line, you can try to just follow. If you do follow this, again, you're going to have a flat line, right? So if I was to follow this, if I'm doing something that I want a ledge, not you, then that's fine. I would come in here and break these out, possibly those. Let's see, we don't want that. That'll break your curve, your line up a little bit. Here we still got a line, so we'll just break this. Boom. Okay. Now, that's that line. Now, to go down from here, we can find another line in the terrain, and no, let's go back behind it. Let's start this one from here. So oh no, not there. Okay, what is our angle? We could just come in here and try to do a straight line. So if we kind of angle our back toward where we're going, right there, right, we can just kind of build and see where it takes us. Just going to flesh that out a little bit more, and it's probably a little shallow. Where's he at? Right about here. Yeah, we're going to bring that over. There we go. Okay, we're starting to get a little more shape to this. Yeah, get those blocks back. That could stand to be a little bit. I mean, let's look at the downward angle from up here. Yeah, that slope still fits with what we have at the bottom. Check it out from all perspectives like that. So let's try to blend this in now. You can kind of just Fill this part in. You can build up from here, or again, try to make some straight lines, whichever way you want to do. Boom. Okay, yeah. If we take this line up, we can kind of take that around like that. And, oh, we don't want that there. That would have put it on the same level as that one. So if you can avoid that, that's wonderful. Okay, there's that. Okay, so we've got that kind of connected. Do the same thing with our next level. Let's go there. Okay, then we're going to bring this down a bit. Let's add one there. That'll kind of... And then fill in your gaps if there's anything left. Great. Okay. Sweet. Oh, that's looking good. That's looking good so far. Okay, now we just take that there. We're going to build that back, so we're going to bring this up here. Fill that in. Again, this is a lot of trial and error. I would probably, just because we have this kind of a sharper slope here, I would probably leave this down to a 2, possibly even break this block out. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. It's not a completely awkward slope there, but I'm not liking the way this is, so we're going to come up a little bit there, kind of break that apart. Okay, there's that. Let's come back to, we can actually come to this end and come down here. You can build in either direction. Let's throw a torch on that. I personally don't like torches everywhere. It just looks nasty. So I like to find ways to light things up with other blocks in the game. Or like with things like this, you could even cut into it. If we did, let's come back behind that. This would also give you a little bit of we're gonna throw a torch up here. Kind of a little more texture to your terrain, but you could throw a torch in like that to light a place up. Or I mean, any number of things. You could throw, goodness, glowberries. I think you could put a vine with glowberries on it. I could be wrong. Anyway, you've got options. I don't necessarily want to keep that right now. I'm not at that point, so let's go ahead and spray that out. I have tons of stone. I'm not worried about the extra there. Oop, don't like that one though. Good. So we got a good start on the terraform. We're just going to continue this across. So now we've got this slope here, and that's going to come down like that. We're going to build off of that there. I like that. Okay, let's get more. Fill in our gaps. Oop. No, sir. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now all we have left is to bring this one over. Blend that down there. And fill that in. Good. All right. And now we just step back and take a look at it. And, I mean, that's decent, right? It's a good start. Gets things going a little bit. And then we kind of do the same thing off to the next area. So we're going to blend over here. Now, we don't want this to immediately come out, right? To make that turn, because then we have this straight line going up there, and that would be a no bueno, okay? So we might end up coming in here and like building off of this at different levels in order to make that that line over to that not a straight line. We don't want a straight turn through here, okay? That was the other way you can get lines. You don't want a line going straight up and down your mountain. That's why I build off of these. Well, even this I don't like. We're gonna, is that those are both changing at the same spot. That means I want to take this one out. There's a lot of second guessing in my process, but that's kind of what you want to do with that. Try not to have straight lines up and down or straight across. We want diagonals. They're lovely. Again, this game is a block game, and straight lines tend to happen a lot, straight up and down. Or this, like in my last video, I talked about building on diagonals, not just 45s, but trying to build it like lesser angles, 33, 66, whichever, somewhere around there. Try to find these really unique angles to build stuff on, because it adds interest to what you're doing. Where did this come from? Oh yeah, okay, never mind. I know, because I was demonstrating where we needed to do that. All right, but yeah, we'll get to that when we build the next line over here, the next wireframe parts. So from here, you want to try to get your slope up to the next area, which is right up here. So somewhere in here, if we were to bring this line over, I'd probably say, let's see, what's here? Probably a 2 to 1. Yeah. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere around there. So we're gonna make a line that connects those two. I want to bring this back a little bit. Yeah. No, not there. Okay. Is there more? Okay, yes. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Not steep enough. Oh, I swear, man. Here we go. 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's a decent slope. That's good. We can work with that. So just eye out your slope like this. Just step back and look at it. Yeah, it's good. Then we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna start from down at the bottom here and build our slope up in that direction so that we can meet up there eventually. So let's go ahead and get a start with it. We're going gentle, so we're going to come back here. I don't even have to build that connects. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, just replying to a text real quick. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, where was I? Oh, can't see my straight. There's my chat. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to keep doing the same thing with this slope. Break that torch. And it's going to meet up to right about... Let me know if this is not enough music for a stream. I can make a longer playlist and stuff. Allegedly, this is supposed to be royalty free as long as I make note of what the tracks are and such. So it should work for streams. And oh shoot, hold on. That's supposed to be on there. Okay, sorry. Forgot my overlay. Okay, all right. Was that on there? Was that overlay up there the whole time, or did I miss it? Well, I had it set. I don't know what happened when we had to adjust the screen there. So, whatever. You don't belong there. Okay, so we've got to get a slightly steeper slope now. I probably should beef this up a little bit. So instead of that, we're going to do this. Probably do a single there. And 1, 2, because we were going a little gentler at top, right? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna bring this up. Doom, doom. What is that? Okay, now that's still in there. Is that in? What's going on? I don't understand. Okay, sorry. One second, I gotta check on something. Okay, sorry. Yes, sorry, I was just trying to make sure that the music overlay is coming through there. There we go. Now we're starting to get closer to connecting. So we're gonna go here. And that can come out of here like that. And then we're just gonna... let's do that. Like that. Okay. So now we've got the general feel for how we want that. I'm not too sure. Well, yeah. If this kind of keeps going up, kind of that same steepness, it'll be alright. Did I just look at him? Why not? Come here, my punk. Prepare your ears. He's gonna be mad. Well? Where'd you go, my dude? There he is. He just... Sorry. Oh, okay. Alright. It's no fun. Really? Really? I know. I have cheat mode active. Well, that was fun. Okay. It's no fun when you can just fly away. Alright. Anywho. So yeah, we got our slope on this side, so we can start connecting across here, or building like smaller slopes, to like we started over here. Which, I mean, to be honest, that kind of was that. So I could do this over that way, and then bring it across here, and kind of work it up. We also haven't done the bottom of this yet either, so still a little bit of slope building here. So we're going to come right about here in the middle. We're going to bring this out. Boom, boom. Let's take a look at what we're looking at right there. Okay, cool. All right, I think it's showing up now. Great. All right, so we're gonna just bring that over here. Stinky slimes, don't do that. Okay, come over here and come out, 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 Again, it's just a guideline. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be where it ends up at. It just needs to be something to start with. And then we shape. So we can, okay. Other thing is, this can't go past that. We don't want a straight slope. Okay. But nothing says we have to stick with that line at the bottom either. Okay, so we can pull this out some if it works better for this overall build, right? Don't be constrained by what you place down to begin with. Unless you have something like, if I already had a building here and I couldn't go past that, or it had to be creative with how it ties into the terrain, then I'd look at just changing this middle line. But I think this middle line is going to be okay. We're gonna bring the bottom out. So always adapt. Always adapt. All right, so let's connect some uppers. See how this goes here. Oh, cool. Let's break that down one then. So this is going to come behind like that, maybe out here. That gives you something to work with. This is going to come down here. Probably good to do that there. Let's bring this line on down now. Okay, there's that. No, that's going to create a straight right there. We don't want that. We're going to bring it down one. No, that does a straight there. It's okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. All right. Bring that down there. That lines with that, but it's okay where we're at. Now, the problem is we've got to... Let's change this. Yeah. So take these off. Okay. Okay, yeah, there's something. Yeah, so we're starting to get a little more idea of what this is going to look like as we build through here. But that's the general idea for terraforming. For larger things like this, you want to kind of just do a little bit, back off. Like I say, get your general slopes, make some wireframes like this, and then fill in one little section of wireframe at a time. And again, as you work on it, back off, see what looks good. Try to avoid the straight lines. I realize that you're going to have this straight line with your wireframe to begin with, but you don't want to end up with a straight line through here when you're done. Same with your verticals. You want those to be your guide, but don't let it bend at this line as you're going through there. So we want to try to to change that a bit and let it blend in much better. But yeah, again, and your lines are just guides, your original layout, so this might change at the bottom. We might bring it out a bit more. And honestly, once we... Where'd I go? This way, I think. Or once we get that done, like, I'm going to have to blend in, like I got this mountain base already, but I'm going to have to blend that in a little bit. I'm going to probably bring it out some. Make this a little wider here and then kind of feather that in. So this would probably gradually get easier. Oh, am I out of... Okay, get more stuff. Wrong one. Get more here. Gradually just bring that down a little bit so it meets the terrain a little better. Just like that. You see how it's starting to already kind of blend a little better compared to the sharp edge that we had there. Like this sharp edge here, it's kind of like a mountain was just plopped onto the ground, which it was, but we want to blend it in where it's a little better. Like a slope like this, if we came in then somewhere in here ish and kind of did some terrain that's really ugly, but that would work out better. I'll probably maybe blend that in a little bit there. But yeah, once you get the main thing built, you can start blending in a bit. So there's always multiple steps in this, but that's kind of how this works. So that's my basics for terraforming, and I've really been enjoying working on this the last couple days, just to kind of, I think I started this yesterday, the mountain part of it. So this isn't much work yet, but I just wanted to kind of show y'all a little bit of how the process works, like just what we're doing over here with this new mountain area. Well, that's the general idea. So then again, you build your surface, your feature, and you can cut into the existing terrain here. In this case, we're completely underground for this area of the build, so it's dig. I mean, I had to dig it out before I can build this up, right? But that's what we're working with. So we're gonna go with that. And the idea is for all of this terrain around here to kind of have these mountainous edges. I'm not sure how much it'll be flat in the end. We're kind of going to be in this valley, this bowl valley here, with a flat, possibly flat ceiling. Right now it's a flat ceiling. Might do something different with that. We might shape this a little bit. I don't want to go crazy because that's a little more difficult to do. I should work through it, but alrighty guys, that's about it. So we're gonna wrap things up. Thanks for joining us today, and yep, have a good one. Bye.